Hello there. Let me check the audio and the video. Everything okay? Everyone can hear all right? Hi, Owen. Sean, great. By the way, Owen, I'm going to make a little announcement about your availability of your book, and you can fill people in on it if you like to. It really looks like something that I think a lot of people would like to have. Homer is Nigel and Graham. How are you guys? Robert, good to see you. Okay, let's see what's going on right now. We're sort of in an interphase, I guess, right now. I've gotten a few emails from no- or com from Nicholas about moving along with our getting the watches ready for shipment, which means putting them together, among other things. They had to send back a couple of dials. I guess there was something wrong with a couple dials, so they sent them back to Medellin, and they'll be fixing them up. I don't think that's going to delay the shipment because we had plenty of dials, but it's just sort of good to hear that they're concerned about making sure that everything is okay. So they're double checking all the parts. Um, hey Rick, Steve, how are you? How is everybody? We're, those of us in Connecticut have been dodging a winter bullet so far, but I think we got one coming pretty quick. We'll see. Steve and I will have the weather report by next week. Um, Our next two watches, the Étude Guilloché and the Heure Zoulou, it's pronounced. Those are sort of sitting around. I don't know what we want to do with them right now. On the Guilloché, I think it'd be a good idea on that for someone to start, trying to come up with taking a look at the forms uh, that the company is going to make them. Let me get the name of them. Um, Comblamine. They're making the dials with the guilloche. This was on Matthew's recommendation, and if you go to their site, you can get. Let me see. I think this link might be the one. Casing. Okay, right here. Um, if you take a look at this, you can see some of the um, guilloche styles they have. Apparently, they're really good at it. But there's also the possibility is that we could have an original one done, designed by Matthew, using a Rose engine. So really, either one. I've seen the guilloches and they have some. There are all kinds of combinations. But anyway, if some of you would like to, spend some time looking at it and come up with some ideas, I think that probably would be a good idea. One thing that a lot, not a lot, but some people have said, well, what about colors? We want to have some colors in that. I think that'd be great, but this is something else that I think I'd sort of like to see, a little more involvement, to put it bluntly, by everyone, and and going out and trying out some different sizes for that. Um, so anyway, on as far as the Zulu is concerned, we really can't do too much on that one because that will depend on the movement. And there are a lot of ideas and so forth that we can have about it. But I think that we really need to see what the movement is before we can go ahead. Fortunately for the Guilloché Etude, we already have, we know what the movement is, we know what the case is. We got everything sort of pre-planned on that, except the Guilloché. Also, too, I've always assumed that because people had talked about it before, they wanted brigade hands. It doesn't have to be brigade hands on the Guilloché. It can be anything you want, and so um, that's up to you. Whatever you want to do on that. But some people have got to get involved in that and start, asking questions. Rick, need to decide stamped versus engine turned. Yeah, exactly, Rick. That's something else too. That's why it's important, I think, to look at the stamped ones. Because apparently they have really a big one. I don't even. The other thing we'd have to find out, Rick, is how much it costs. Is there a price difference that would be significant? Um, and this would be something, I think, if we did go with the Rose engine, uh, which would be great. Um, I think we ought to sort of put Matu in charge of the design of it. Okay, that we don't want loving hands at home. I'll put it that way. Somebody, I know how to do that. I think for design, we'd be good. Either way is fine with me, though. Owen can help. That'll be great. Speaking of Owen, since he's here, Owen made this book, and a lot of us have seen it. And if you want to, you can put in a link down below there, Owen, where people can get the book. Um, and it's very interesting, done with all kinds of stuff, text, graphics, music, dancing girls, everything you'd want in a book. Um, so anyway, yeah, Rick, you want to work with Owen? Maybe you guys can sort of see if you can come up with some ideas on that, or sort of directions that we might want to talk to Matu about. There you have a satisfied customer in Donald Jones. He says the book is terrific. I know it is, and so that's good if you want the book. Okay, let us see what next. Yeah, we the check in the post. um, okay. On the case for the Guilloché, that's all set. We're going to use the same case, so that'll be nice. We don't have to worry about that. Or there's a design cost and everything else that goes into that we don't have to pay this time. It's still going to be a fairly expensive case given the structure of it, but otherwise that's fine. On the other thing, of course, we're going to, on the case for the Zoulou, that's something that we want to have, something that goes with this heritage pilot style that we've been thinking about. So anything on that too? Okay. All right. The next thing is something that this comes down to the devil's in the details. There were two basic options that Mike gave us for structuring Lyrique. One was to have a U.S. Company and then have it some connection to Switzerland. I'm not sure how you do that. Mike's going to tell us. We can do it for this 1 year or one project with Sandlights for the coming projects. And I think the big reason we're doing this is to save the VAT, because all of them are going to be exported out of Switzerland. So we should get the VAT back. Now the VAT next year is going to be 8.1%. And I figured if we go ahead with two watches, roughly at 8,000 Swiss francs a piece, that may be wrong, but that was just sort of an estimate. That would be 127,000 Swiss francs, which is a lot of money. The other option is one I think important to eventually set up, and that is it's like Lyrique, SARL, and one of the things that I was reading about Chanel, the Chanel company's connection with Romain Gauthier and FP Journe, and they said, well, they just set up. There's a Chanel SARL in Switzerland. So I don't know whether they have some people there working there or not, but I do know that we've got to have somebody on the ground there. Now, usually, if you can do this from any place in the world. I think we've got a couple guys, Yang and Vincent, who are both live in Switzerland, and they could be on that. Okay, when do you think they'll be delivered? I had the exact dates last time. I think Nicholas gave me a range between, I think, the 27th and 29th of January, Rick, right in that window. That's where we are right now on that. Is that right? Did anybody happen to take notes? I've got mine. Mine are buried here somewhere, but hang on, let me see if I can. I don't know if I can find them real quick or not. Does that sound about right from what report? Let me look. I don't know where it is. I had written it down, but I know I told this group that was the delivery date. So that's the best I've got right now, Rick. But that was let me check one more place real quickly. See, I don't know whether I got it over the phone talking to Nicholas, so we did it writing, but I do know that I did pass it on to everyone. Let me see. Spreadsheet Guardian. Here we go. Yes, I do. I've got it. And I was right. Those are the dates, Rick. He says, Nicholas says expedition probably between the 27th and 30th of January. That's pretty close anyway. Yeah, they've got, according to Nicholas, they should be ready by the end of the 25th and then control during the end of the week. Basically, what that means, boy, thank God I got. Sometimes I think I'm delusional on that. The watches will be all finished by the 25th, and then they have the control. And what that means, they test them. They test them 5 ways from Sunday, and that's a good thing. So that's not something. Well, that's not a step we want skipped or anything else. I've had really nothing but great luck with mine. Now, the ones following it, the ones for the guys in Europe, that shouldn't be too far after that. That ought to be before, probably in the first half of February. There was a note that Nicholas got from Houtenlander and Caton about the quote, shipping the rest of the cases. So, I hope that's the end of it, and hope they have all of them. and then they can get on those as soon as ours go into the control on the 25th. They can start getting the final group ready for the European group and send them all out. So that would be great. I'll be so happy. I think I'll be happier than the people once they get them because that'll sort of be the tie the bow on the project. Okay, let's see, where are we? Um, yeah, the big thing we got to do is I'd sent a message to Paul this morning. Paul, are you here? He's hiding somewhere. Uh, I sent it, and I think Donald was also on that list, and Fadi, about um, let's get this thing done one way or the other. I mean, however you want to do it. The thing that we run into and uh, is the accounting cost, and there's going to be some accounting cost, but I think the accounting cost and some other things that we're going to have to do are going to be a lot less than the amount that we'll be getting back on the return of the VAT. I know it's a lot more convoluted, but I think that we ought to be in better shape that way. What else was there? Yeah, we do need anybody. We really need for people to step up. I don't know why that term sounds so. It sounds like a fifth grader raising their hand. We, to have any kind of longevity with Lyrique, we're going to have people who are going to have to take um, some of these positions, and we really need responsible people, not people like me, but we need people really responsible. Someone who's going to put in the time, and I think one of the things that's going to be important about this is someone who enjoys it. I got to admit, I have enjoyed it. I mean, there have been some spots, there are some people who want to kill me or vice versa, but otherwise, I think this has been a just really an interesting thing. One of the most interesting things I've ever done. And the fact that we have watches now is it makes it even better. Um, so anyway, hey, Owen, do you want to? Have you done out? Owen, do you want to uh, put the link for the book up there? You can just cut and paste it in down below if you want. So we can do that. All right. Well, listen. Is there anything else that you need to know about? Any questions or? Okay, well, listen, guys, that's about it. That's about where we are right now. Uh, they're going to start shipping to the U.S. as early as before our next meeting. So it'll be the next time we meet will be on the 29th, and by then they should have been shipping. So let's hope. Okay, take care. If you got anything between now and our next meeting, you use WhatsApp or email or whatever you want. Meantime, take care, stay well, and whatever else.